The only reason there's any stakes at all in that entire season is because the characters are fucking stupid. Like, that is literally the only reason why.
That was the point of what this scene was trying to communicate to audiences, is that, yeah, she does have excellent tits, but nobody cares.
Can you give me a beer first before I get into this rant? Because you've triggered some nerves, and I cannot wait to prove you wrong.
Welcome back, one and all,
to the CinemaBuns podcast.
Episode 5. You've got Quinn, Brandon, and Drake. And today, well, we were thinking about the Mario movie.
Yes.
Because people won't stop talking about it. Although more broadly, video game adaptations into movies. Is this even a good idea? Do we even like this? That's today's episode. Let's get into it. All right, and we got Nolan with us again, the studio director.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's the set dog. Best boy?
Good boy. He's a good boy.
In-house best boy.
Well, no, he's best boy because he's on a film set.
That's true. He is on a film set. He is an acting dog, you might say.
Yes.
He's done some big roles. One project that's never seen the light of day, but he's in it nonetheless.
He is, and it will be released one day.
When that day comes,
Oh, yeah.
maybe civilization will fall. But
I'm sorry, Cohen. Well, I had no idea what to buy this time. I had genuinely no idea. So I went to the liquor store right by your place, Drake. Not the little one, the big one.
I like the look of this. I like it.
This is Babe Blueberry Vanilla Ale.
Babe.
That is so specific.
I know. I read Blueberry Vanilla Ale and I was like, I'm not going to not buy that.
Yeah,
Babe.
it's pretty out there. It's giving me camping vibes already, which we all like a beer by the campfire, as we've discussed in past podcasts we've done.
But will it taste like a campfire?
I mean, judging from the name, I'm going to go with no. But the look of it, like you got the bowl, like it looks like you would want to take this camping until you read the title. Then you're like, maybe not camping. Maybe like when you go to Callaway Park or something, and then you put a paper bag over it so that people don't see that you're drinking in public.
Is that what's in people's bags?
Okay.
That was a good one.
That was satisfying.
This is everyone's favorite part.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh.
Oh.
First hit? Oh, yeah.
That was nice.
I like it.
I'm not usually a blueberry guy either, but I think the vanilla counteracts it quite well.
I'm a blueberry
It's
man.
also like kind of subtle. Like,
yeah.
there's not a lot of flavor, but in a good way. I didn't want there to be a lot of flavor. I was kind of worried it was going to taste juicy, but it in fact tasted neutral with a little bit of kick to it.
Yeah.
Which I like.
No, I agree 100%. That's what I was worried about as well, because a lot of the time the beers that have fruit is their flavor, they're just a little bit overbearing. Like it's just full on fruit in your face. It's like I wanted a beer,
Yeah.
not a
soda.
juice.
Or like a
Yeah.
like
And it always loses something and gets a little weird. This one, the blueberry is present, but it's participating. You can identify it, but the rest is this nice, crisp, golden ale.
Yes.
Or maybe it might even be a red. I'm not sure, but and then there's vanilla flavor apparently. Gratefully, I can't really find it.
I taste a little bit of artificial vanilla on the tail end. But if this beer was a crime scene, the vanilla would be an accessory to said crime.
wow. I like the way you put that.
We are getting better at this. I like that.
Yeah. We got to bring up more metaphors. you
Yeah,
know?
100%. I do really like the art too.
I was gonna
It's good
say,
art. I
like-
like the blue and
Yeah,
white.
they have another one.
This should be a flag.
Yeah, we should get a poster.
We should
put it up.
invent a country, and
With
this
that.
is the flag.
Yeah, but then all we'd be allowed to eat if we lived there is Texas barbecue.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
I'm moving.
Yeah. There are worse things.
Why are you making this sound like a bad thing?
But there's another one that has a pig on it.
Why is the one with the bull called Babe?
I don't know.
Does it look-
That was my exact thought too.
Does it look the same?
Yeah, the exact same.
Like it's the
except
same
I think
cover,
it's
same
pink.
color.
Is it that red copper
pink.
metallic sun?
No, it's a pink sun
Ooh.
with a even pinker pig.
I
Which
think you
it makes
picked the right
sense.
Maybe
yeah. I mean,
next
the other one was.
episode.
It wasn't. I forget what the flavor was, but it just didn't jump out at me. The pig did, but not the flavor. So
I am a fan.
Yeah, I would do the pig one for sure.
Yeah,
We
next
should
time.
definitely try that.
I could picture myself drinking this in a hot air balloon over South America.
wait, I'm gonna try to emulate that right now.
High above the Peruvian gardens.
Quinn, the flame! Don't forget about the flame! The flame!
Pour the beer on it. Anyway, I would highly recommend this one as well. I'm excited to see what else they have because this is the first one of their beers that I've ever tried, and I am impressed.
Yeah, good choice, Quinn.
Thank you.
Yeah, nailed it.
Oh,
Babe,
it's made
try
in
it.
Calgary.
Is it now?
Even better.
Yeah.
A local beer. We always like to support local beer. So,
Calgary, Alberta.
is it Babe, the company?
I don't know. I guess so.
Babe?
Babe
Good
Brewing.
work.
Yeah.
Babes.
Babe Brewing. Perfect.
Babes.
We're going to go there if you have a brewery. We should get on to the topic.
Yes, this is actually episode 5, and we're very excited because it is the last episode that we will not have a guest on. So episode 6, you can expect a new face that will be sitting
Who that face is?
here.
We
They'll
don't
be
know.
sitting there.
We're going to drag someone else into this.
It's going to
Yeah.
be a big celebrity. We have to get someone like really up there.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I mean, I've been CC'd on a few emails with like Dwayne and
Yeah. I've been talking to Bryan Cranston a little bit.
nice. Yeah, he'd be good.
He said he was really interested. He said specifically for the beer part, he wanted to be
Oh, yeah.
involved in.
We're gonna have to get a special kind of beer for that.
Yeah, we'd call him Bry. That's his nickname.
Bry, yeah,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
biz. That's what people call him in the biz.
Bry the beer guy.
Nice. Yes, anyway, welcome to this episode. Very happy to have you here. And yeah, we got a pretty interesting topic. The Mario movie came out, what year was that? A couple years ago, right?
It was
Like
3 years.
2023?
It was 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, and arguably,
Christmas
it
2023
was very, very good. I
was
think a lot
enjoyable.
of people really enjoyed it. I did too, for a few different reasons. And now the new one is coming out, and we figured,
it
you
was
know
out
what?
already.
Oh, it is in theaters.
Okay.
Yeah. It's making the rounds. People
Yes.
are getting their reviews in, their feedback, and it's not nearly as well received.
No, it's
Damn.
not. I haven't seen it. I do think we should go see it.
Is it like the same? They got Jack Black and everyone in it.
Yeah, same cast with a bunch of new people, which is one of the critiques that I read is
are
that
the new
they had
people?
way too many people.
Who are the new people?
Who are the new people?
Mm-hmm.
There's the only one that I actually remember is Star Fox, which is probably the main reason that I want to go see this movie because it is Glenn Powell as Star Fox.
Okay, that's
Who's
dude.
that?
Actually, the fact that Star Fox is in it.
Glenn Powell played. Well, he was in
You
Inception.
don't know
Not
Glenn
Inception.
Powell? He's not in Inception.
No, he was the
Come
other
on,
one.
dude.
The Batman one. Yes, he is in Batman.
The
Lego
Robert
Batman?
Pattinson one?
He's in The Dark Knight.
No.
The Dark Knight Rises.
He's not in that
Yes,
movie.
he is. I will bet you $500.
Let's go.
Are you
500 bucks.
sure? Are you sure?
Dude, Glenn Powell is not in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes,
you know how
he
many
is.
fucking times I've seen that movie?
Right here. Look it up, buddy.
Somebody
I'm
just
kind of
lost
scared. I don't
500
actually
bucks.
want to bet $500
No,
just in
you-
case.
He takes it back right
that's
after
on
the
3
handshake.
different cameras.
Okay, whatever.
Sam, what good is a
Dude,
handshake?
I
You
can't-
don't just like
I didn't
throw
actually
those out
mean
There's
there.
no
$500.
gentleman agreements
Disgusting.
these days, right?
Listen, if I'm
Disgusting.
right, you don't owe me $500.
If I'm right, you definitely owe me $500.
You don't
What?
just shake on stuff and then be like, just kidding.
That's why I was
Dude,
like,
I
are
thought
you sure?
thought this was for the podcast. But I don't think he's in that movie.
He is. He plays a very small role.
Brandon's about to lose.
That's why I'm
500
scared
bucks.
because I was like, fuck, what if he's like like 5 seconds, like one clip of him. I'm not seeing him.
It's when Bane rolls into the.
Oh, dude, he's not in this movie.
He is.
No.
I'm going to bring up the scene right now.
Oh,
All right,
he is in
boys.
the movie. Traitor 1.
Yeah.
Fuck!
He gets his face
Dude.
slammed into a desk.
How that's so... He must have played a really small
It was
fucking role.
It was for like maybe 8 seconds.
That
of
was the
screen time.
fastest I've ever
just
seen you lose
do it in
$500.
increments? I don't want to lose $500.
Sorry, buddy. Anyway, yes, he plays Star Fox in the new Mario Galaxy movie.
Okay.
Which is one of the main reasons I'm excited to go see it, because I think Star Fox is a really cool character, and I would love to go and see him on the big screen.
Anya Taylor-Joy is one of
honestly,
them as well, right?
She's Peach.
She is Peach, okay.
I mean, Glenn Powell as Star Fox, I feel like is like the perfect choice.
Yeah.
Like if there was a live action, he should play the real Star Fox.
And I think he'd do a good job.
Dude, he probably would.
He's got he's got this like
He's got a bit of range.
voice, like this almost gravelly, but not really kind of like, I think he'd do a really good job.
He's a really good... I just like his movies. He's done a lot of cool movies.
Yeah.
I have watched a few people's actual feedback about the Mario Galaxy movie, and it seems like, yeah, I love you, buddy. I do. It seems like the big issue is that the storyline it doesn't really carry anything. It kind of just like raises points and then drops them all over the place, and the only thing you get out of it is this constant menagerie of member berries, like just characters and scenes and different locations, and like, oh, remember this thing from Nintendo, and then there was this thing from Nintendo, and it just like constantly, whereas the first one was a little more, they weren't trying to just cram everything, and there was a bit more of a cohesive like A to B story thing that was going on.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's, and this kind of goes into sort of the talking point that I was going to mention. So the first Mario movie, I think part of the reason why I liked it so much is because what they weren't doing was taking the story of Mario and making that the entire identity of the film. Instead, they took these characters and they took the universe and they implemented a real human story, right? Like you can identify with Mario, right? Like his story, he's like trying to build his business. He's trying to, drags his brother into it, and then they have some bad luck with a job goes wrong, but then they get transported to this other world, and this is their chance, right? And they end up, saving the world. And it's like a real human story that anybody can like enjoy. If you took the Mario label out of it, it would still be a good story. And that's what I think made that film what it was. The Mario stuff was just extra, So my kind of thing with the whole topic of adaptations from video games into films or TV or whatever, how important to you guys is following the story of a game? And I'm not talking because there's a few different ways you can do it, right? Like let's say you're making like a Silent Hill game adaptation to a movie. That's going to look very, very different than something like Mario, for instance, or Assassin's Creed, right? Because there's action games and then there's story-driven games. I think the best example is The Last of Us. That was incredible. That TV series was amazing because it's so story-driven and character-driven, So automatically, like, of course it's going to do well in a visual format because, I mean, half of that game is like cutscenes and story, right?
For me, I would have to say following the story of the game precisely is very important to me. And most video game adaptations I have seen have been kind of ruined because they usually don't do that.
Right.
Last of Us did a good job of following the game. Liked the show, loved the game. Like the game's still a little bit better, but I know for that one it works because, yeah, you're right. The game is like the story. So you could do it. I think Fallout, for example, I think that is awesome because that video game, you don't need to follow the story plot precisely because it's an open world with like the story is kind of minimal. Like there's all these like side quests and things so that you can be creative without insulting what the game was because it's open. Like you can do whatever you want with it. So I think Fallout is like the perfect example of like that kind of video game is something that you can go nuts with when it comes to not following the source material of the game. But something like Assassin's Creed, for me personally being a huge fan, it's really important that they follow like the same characters, the same storyline. They didn't do that, but I still really enjoyed the movie, which a lot of people didn't.
Well, I think for Fallout's case, they did follow a very large part of the storyline.
Okay.
And that was the vault dweller is looking for their dad, right? That's the entire reason that you leave the vault in, say, Fallout 3 is
Right.
you are like, my dad left, I'm going to go find him. And so you go and try to locate him. And then you follow clues and talk to different characters. And that's the story.
Oh, I haven't played the game. So
Have you played any of them?
I played the fourth one for like an hour, and I really enjoyed it, but it was really laggy, and I just
Right.
stopped. So I just assumed it was like a new story.
I mean, okay, so I would say and I'm not a massive Fallout guy, right? I played 3, the tiniest bit of tactics, and I actually didn't even play that. I just watched you play that. And then Fallout 4, I played like 2 hours, and New Vegas, I played about the same. But I did play a lot of Fallout 3. And from my calculation, about 35 or 40% of the TV show followed a similar story to Fallout 3.
Okay.
Right? They had, portions of the story from the game, but most of that TV series was them just trying to tell their own story and bring audience members in. And that's the other thing with TV and movie adaptations is you're talking about a video game, right? Something that for the longest time kids kind of played, right? And adults, when those games come out, they don't gel with them as much, right? They don't hit as hard for adults.
Yeah, it was like a new frontier when there were adult video games.
Yeah, and I mean something like Mario, that game is super old. So I think most people are willing to at least like give it a try because almost everybody alive nowadays has experienced Mario. But you kind of need to I don't blame film producers for taking liberties with the story of the video games because they have a job to do, right? And that is to bring audience members in. And video game IP alone, yeah, it's going to do that a little bit. But you're talking about like if it's a movie, it's got to be fun to watch in the cinema. It can't just be relying on sort of the video game characters or the video game story. You have to like alter it in a way that lends itself to the medium that is filmmaking. And there's some examples that have come out recently that a lot of people don't like for that reason. Yeah, but I think it's an interesting conversation.
I'd be inclined to agree with you. I just feel like certain video games, for example, I feel like the cutscenes and the game itself already feels very cinematic and appropriate to be in a theater. You know what I mean? So it's like if you just followed it, it would still be really awesome as a movie because the story is so good. Like Halo 3, for example, like just the cutscenes, like they're just so good. You know what I mean? It's like watching a movie in the video game. But I understand, like also you can't make it exactly the same as the video game because then you're just literally putting what's there already onto like in a film format. So like you have to change it up a bit and you have to like make altercations. So I understand that too.
But there's also like a massive portion of that game that is not cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
The cutscenes in between them, there's sometimes like months of time that skip ahead.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
so
for
like
sure.
how are you gonna you still have to
Yeah.
tell that part of the story,
Well,
right?
no, they would tell the same story, but obviously differently in a condensed version. Like it would have to be strategic with how they write it, but they could, you know,
Right.
yeah. I just don't like when they go veer too off course of the source material is all.
Okay. So you like a happy medium between staying true to the video games, but
Yeah.
then trying to accommodate the new medium that is filmmaking.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What about you, Drake?
Well, not to immediately come across as a fence sitter, but I would say it seriously depends because there's a lot of different kinds of video games that we have examples of adapting into movies and TV shows, and these kind of key into a. Do we think these movies are a good thing for existing fans of the video games? Are they a good way to enrich a pre-existing fan's enjoyment of that IP?
I think There's a lot of that's a really good question, and I could think about that for days. I think I'll say this for sure. It depends on the video game that you're adapting, because there are like, let's take action games for instance. If you take Gears of War, something that there's rumored to be a new like a series coming out or a movie. I forget the exact details, but there's a whole bunch of different actors that also want to be in it.
I bet.
Yeah. Who's the actor that played in Guardians of the Galaxy? What's his name? The
Chris
strong.
Pratt?
No, the strong guy that's dumb.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Batista?
Man,
Steve Batista, I think his name is.
I'm gonna confirm this.
Dave Batista.
Yeah. So he really, really wants
Want
to
to bet
play.
$500?
Nobody
You want to
wants
win your money
bet.
back?
Double or nothing.
Batista?
He wants to play. That makes sense.
He wants to play one of the main characters.
that's
I never
a-
played the game, so I don't know who the character's name.
What about that guy who plays Reacher?
Oh
He's
yeah,
gigantic.
Alan Rickman, Richardson.
Definitely not Alan Rickman. That's a very different guy.
But his first name is Alan, and his last name is like Rich something.
Didn't we lose Alan Rickman?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
When did he go?
Years ago. I don't know. Probably
Where
like
did
20.
Where is he? Is he lost?
Where was he when you last saw him?
Who has Alan Rickman?
2016. It was early.
Oh, so it was a
It
while
was
ago.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
What?
Are we talking Snape?
Yeah, that's Alan Rickman.
Dude, sorry, I blanked on who it was.
no, I had that guy mixed up. I was thinking of the guy from the Three Musketeers movie from like the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
No, he was an incredible actor though. Oh, Curry. Something Curry. Oh man, we're
Okay,
on
I'm
a
looking this up.
filmmaking podcast. We can't even remember names.
Yeah, disregard everything we just said. I can't believe you guys remember this guy's name. That's a fucking hard one to remember.
Well, I was watching wrestling in the early 2000s. So,
oh, he was a wrestler?
yeah, that's where he's from.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
not know
He
that.
kind of looks like the Rock's like brother.
Yeah, he was post The Rocks. It was like Dave Batista and
this
it's-
It's a cartoon.
who did
No,
the
it was.
619?
Wait, which one?
Oh, wait,
Musketeers?
there's a couple.
Yeah, I'm talking about the live action VHS. It's got the guy from The Bear, the uncle
Okay.
who invests in the.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah. He's also in
when he was
2012.
young.
Orlando Bloom? This isn't it. Oh, that's a newer one for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, so what I was saying is it depends on the specific game adaptation, because if you're talking about an action game, I don't think people that are fans of that video game care about a compelling story. I don't want to come off as though that game does not have a compelling story, because I know there's some people out there that loved that story, and I know it's highly regarded as like really, really well done, and I'm not trying to disregard that, but you can't deny that that game is not meant for story-loving gamers, right? Not the same kind of people that are willing to play The Last of Us for the story, because
Yeah.
there's some action in that game, but it is not action focused.
And even the action kind of feels very cinematic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's minimal.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So for an action movie, the people that you're going to get into the theater are the people that want big, like, explosions and lots of big enemies and like really high stakes, right? Whereas if you're trying to tell a story from a game that's like The Last of Us, it is very story driven, and there's a lot of more like humanity, like the people in the story are how you get audience members in. Those are the same kind of people that want to like observe much lower stakes, you know? They want to see people going through like interpersonal issues. At least that's my takeaway. And I think in that case, a film adaptation does much, much better, because you have like a whole team of writers that can be behind the project. And like, yeah, does that make sense?
Depending on the video game. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot to think about when going into production of a given project. But I guess that's the kind of thought that we'd like to see being given to an existing IP that has so many existing fans and in many cases has been beloved for many years by many people.
To me, if you're gonna make a film or a TV show based on a video game, I think it's very important you either, if it's like a game like Halo, for example, I think you should stick to the source material as much as possible. But there is other games that I think would be such good films and TV shows because you don't have to, because the story is like, you know, not as important in the game, but the game is so loved. You know what I mean? So like you can bring a new audience in because it'll still be like entertaining and new, but the video game, like the fans of the game won't be upset because it's open to interpretation almost, which actually brings me to my talking point. What video games do you guys think would make good film or TV adaptations? The ones that haven't been created yet, obviously.
Well, they've been talking about a Mass Effect movie, which I think it might already be in production. And that one makes sense for the same reason that Last of Us makes sense. It is largely a story-driven game. So The Last of Us turned out great. Loved watching it. Looking forward to more episodes. But frankly, it's kind of on easy mode as far as an adaptation, because it's fine to just go one for one, beat for beat, and everybody's going to be satisfied because it is a good story with compelling characters. And it's fine to just convert that to a film. So I think Mass Effect, although there are branching stories, I think there's an overarching effect. And I think you could do the very same and it would convert great.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played through all of Mass Effect. I know Sammy's a massive fan, basically of everything BioWare does. But I know the main character is named Shepard, and that's who the story kind of revolves around. That's the main character. And you are very much like a pilot, like a space pilot, getting companions and fighting bad guys along the way. And I think that there's so much you can do with that as a universe, right? I think because I haven't played them, if I went to the theater and I watched a Mass Effect film or I started streaming a TV show, I'd be very disappointed if they told the same story, just because of the sheer scale that is that game. Like, it is like a sci-fi opera, you know, like there's so much potential there. And I feel the same way about the Halo TV show, which is a whole other conversation. Well, it's the same conversation, but we can finish this portion of it first.
Yeah, the Halo show could have been done the same as The Last of Us. It could have simply been a one-to-one adaptation.
And I don't
like
I
following the
liked
same
that.
story.
I would have enjoyed it because I'm just such a big Halo fan. But I'd also feel robbed personally because I already know the story of the games. I've played them a million times. Like, as much as I would love to go and see that in the movie theater, I don't need that in my life, right? What I want is I want to know more about the Covenant, more about the Endless and the Forerunners, and all of this stuff that the games allude to that don't actually talk about. I want more of that, right? Give me more of the mystery and the previous civilizations. And yeah, if you want to make it about Master Chief, then awesome. But
sure, everybody loves him.
Yeah.
I think I like where you're going with that. I would be very happy with that, but like all the same characters. So like everything's like kind of the same, but it's like following a different storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I don't even know how to explain it. Like basically what you just said, but like a little bit more fresh of a story, I guess.
Right. So you think that...
But like follow the characters and like maybe specific details of what we know in the video game, but expand and then have new material in there. Like follow a completely different trilogy or something, like without steering too far away from what it originally was.
This is why it bugs me personally so much when people don't like the Halo TV show.
We know this is an I'm just going to say this.
You really
disclaimer: this is an emotional topic for Quinn. The Halo TV show hits a nerve.
I have opinions. When people talk about the Halo TV show and they talk about accuracy to the games and accuracy to the character, there are some valid points. I feel like, for instance, Master Chief taking his helmet off. If you're a big fan of the games and what you were expecting was like a faithful recreation of the video game story, then yeah, you'd be upset. But what that requires as a fan of the the franchise or of Halo as a universe is a complete ignorance and lack of like attention towards the franchise in between when the last game came out and when the show came out. Because at no point did they say, we are going to recreate the games. In fact, they were very, very vocal about the fact they were doing the opposite of that, which is why the code name for the entire production was, well, not the production, but the name of the team in the show is called Silver Team, because it's Halo, but the Silver timeline. It's a completely different version of that story. And they were very vocal about that from the moment it was announced.
So they did the alt universe approach.
Yes. And like Kiki Wolfkill, who is a head honcho producer at 343 Studios.
What a badass name.
I know, right? I wish I had that name. She came out and said, like, this is going to be different. Like, it is not supposed to be a replacement for the games. And so it bugs me when people are like, oh, it's nothing like the games. You have not been paying attention, right? Like, all.
I'm feeling attacked right now. Because
I mean, there might be a little bit of hey, try to keep up.
Even when they announced that, I was disappointed. I was like, well, now I don't care about this. Like, it's
that's the
because
thing,
what I was saying is like, follow the universe, but a completely different story, but stay true to the characters. You know what I mean? Like, stay true to the heart of the game, like the heart and soul of what makes Halo Halo. Stay with that, but then create an entirely new storyline. Like, I want to see different shit, but just changing the game, it really feels like it's just like a kind of a screw you to the fans. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're not going to do that because we're going to do our own thing. And it's like, well, if you're not going to do that, then don't recreate a game that everyone loves.
Well,
you know?
It depends, man. It depends. And really, this points to where I believe your point and mine have a lot of overlap. You're asking about the rewrites and how much we should stick to the original story, and then my wondering about whether this is meant to enrich the fans' enjoyment or who this is all for. The thing is, in most cases, you're not going to be able to just one-to-one reproduce every beat of the story that happens in the game or the series. It worked super good for The Last of Us because The Last of Us was designed like a movie the whole way through. But is that really the best way to serve the fans that already exist? Because like you said, with Halo as your example, we don't really need that. Right? There's not... People who have played the games, they know all of those story beats, and you're probably not going to do a better job because that was a video game and it was enjoyed a specific way. So to then try and change all of that just lazily into a movie with, big screen special effects, you're going to stumble. You're probably going to fail. As a fan of a number of different series, is what I would much rather have is a creative revisit to the setting or the tone, but give me more than everything I've already seen, already read.
Yeah.
So I think a great example of that is Netflix's adaptation of Castlevania. As a longtime fan of Castlevania, of all the games, well, maybe not all the games. I didn't love the 3D ones. Konami really fumbled that for years, for a long time, and it left long-time enfranchised fans with nothing to go on. And then when that show came out and it was good, it was such a breath of fresh air for people who'd been waiting for years and years for a good game to finally come back into the series. So maybe it wasn't what everybody wanted, and it also wasn't a one-to-one rebuild of the story, but it was something, and it had its own personality, it had flavor, and it was well done. So completely different approach, but it found a home, it found an audience, and people loved it. And not just the fans, but you're also creating something for newcomers to the IP to enjoy. Whereas if you just do this flaccid remake of something that the people who would love it have already had the best version of, and then the people who have never played that game before, I'm thinking specifically of the Silent Hill 2025.
I still haven't watched that one.
Oh, don't bother.
I watched the original Silent Hill movie way back in the day.
I think it's a great example of how these things go wrong, because it is attempting to be a direct remake of Silent Hill 2. First off, don't. Just don't, because that game is in another dimension as far as people's appreciation for it. You just can't really. Somehow the remake that came out of the game turned out pretty good because it was a modernized version, but it didn't really change very much, and it managed to maintain all of the original the tone and the themes and the flavor. The movie tried to do the same thing, and the acting is terrible. It feels like they thought they could just rip off most of the story, make a bunch of cool set pieces and a bunch of digital fog effects, and they'd get away with it, and they absolutely didn't, because they missed the point. They missed the tone. They didn't really respect or build on what made the game such an impactful piece of media. They kind of just took it and did a slideshow of the most obvious parts and completely missed all of the guilt and repression of the main character, and it was a mess. It was completely forgettable, and it hurts me as a fan of that might be a number of people's first visit to that IP, because it was hot garbage. They would have been much better off to build some kind of a side story, right? And not bite off. And then if it's bad, well, at least it's this funny, campy, like alt version of things.
You know who did it right?
Who's that?
The guys that made Dead by Daylight Hunted. That film
That one was remarkable.
was an exact recreation of the game with a little hint of their own storyline.
But boosted in a cinematic kind of a
cinematic way, but they still stayed true to the game.
They respected the original.
I think that might be the best video game adaptation.
It's in the
film.
conversation.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, actually, and I'm surprised you haven't. If you haven't,
what are you doing?
Yeah, you can actually find it. There's a little link.
I'm not doing that again. It'll be in the description.
I was going to do the annotation though. Where is it? It's to the left side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's up here. It's right. It's up there. Go check it out. Like, comment.
No, but I didn't hear your example. Did you have a recommendation for a game that you thought would be like a...
Yes, actually. I think that there should be either a TV show or movie of Lethal Company, because it's one of those examples that I was talking about earlier where there's no fixed storyline. There's just a world. And because there's just a world, you can do whatever you want and stay true to the game. You know?
I actually like that idea a lot.
I think there's so much you can do with Lethal Company. Like, you add characters, a storyline. You're in an alien world. Like, there's the sky's the limit. There's endless things that you can do with that world. And there's tons of other video games like Lethal Company that would also make good TV shows or movies, because they're kind of focused on just like the game lore and the world, and you're free to roam, you know?
Maybe that's the way they should, or at least somebody should make an attempt like that, rather than grabbing an IP that has a long and storied existing bunch of chapters, something that's a little simpler, that has a solid framework that you can then use to build up into some film experience.
Yes.
Somebody could put a lot of flavor into that and have a lot of fun with it.
Which is why I think Mario worked, because like the original game was just like the game. Him, like, you know, there's like a storyline, but it was a basic storyline. So there wasn't really much pressure to follow the exact Mario storyline. There's been so many games in different...
Another example that actually I don't want to miss is the Arcane series. I assume you and everybody else has seen it, because
I've seen the first season.
Yeah, League of Legends, right? Yes, there's a storyline, but again, like Lethal Company, it's really just a repetitive game experience. But then they took that and they took what was useful, and they sort of left a lot without worrying about just bringing every element of everything in. They took what they could make sense of and turned it into its own really well developed like cinematic universe with characters that they developed and included some parts. And I'm not super familiar with the lore of those characters, but I think they did a fantastic job of taking a bunch of characters and an IP and adapting it into.
I'm in the small amount of people that thinks that first season was kind of mid. Honestly, like
Okay, let's just chill, guys. Calm down.
Fucking kill you.
Dude, he didn't mean it.
Which is funny too, because I also really loved Cyberpunk. Edge Runners was fantastic. I love that season, the first one. They are making another one.
Oh, good for them.
Yes.
Wait, no, don't you dare. Why?
I don't think it's about the same characters. Or
Yeah,
anything.
spoiler alert.
I think it's far in the future, but I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched Arcane, but my biggest issue with that was just like it was really difficult for me to like latch on to any of the particular characters for any reason. It's like, yes, they all had traumatic experiences, and you know their father figure. Spoilers. You know he dies, and now they're like, what are we gonna do? They're fending for themselves, and it's like this. The only reason there's any stakes at all in that entire season is because the characters are fucking stupid. Like, that is literally the only reason why. Like, if they weren't, like, just children being children, then there would be no reason for us to watch it because, like, there's no stakes.
Yeah, but if they weren't just children being children, you wouldn't get all those sick, wacky comic book animation scenes.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think the animation was phenomenal.
And that was early as well, right? That was between the two. I think it might have been before Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the first one.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure the exact timeline.
We all know Spider-Man 1 was based on the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man. They stole that idea and then thought they could make a good movie, and it was fantastic, but that doesn't matter.
I think it was I'm a big fan of animation, so I was easy prey for something with that much style,
right,
and that much personality. And then I did find the characters compelling. I can't disagree with you. The individual motives of different characters are questionable.
Yeah.
I have zero idea what you guys are talking about, but it's funny witnessing this
I'm glad you're enjoying
dilemma.
Cute girl with daddy issues grows up latching on to a supplicant father figure who manipulates and uses her, and then when he turns out to not be everything she thought, she goes like psycho on her friends and
It's dark. It's really dark.
becomes Gen Z's version of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Oh.
So to bring it back to what we were talking about before, one of the points I'd like to make about Halo specifically is a film or TV adaptation was the natural progression for that IP. Because you're talking about a bunch of games. Like there was, I think, 8 games or something like that by the time that the TV show came out. And also like 12 books, right? It was like an established space opera. And yeah, having some kind of a TV or film adaptation was definitely the next step in that entire situation.
Sure.
So it was going to happen at some point.
But we wish it was Neil Blomkamp and Peter Jackson.
Yes,
Who made
I
the
definitely
film
agree.
trilogy. But for some reason, the studio was like, nah, no more money. You ain't getting no money. And that is a sin against humanity.
Wait, but was that in?
I don't know if that was why. I just know there was a money issue.
But that was in pre-production?
Yeah, dude. They literally had like all the like stuff. Like they had like warthogs. Actually, a lot of the stuff they had, they used in District 9. Because that was the movie he made because they couldn't make Halo. Different conversation.
If you haven't seen Landfall, go watch it. It's the Neil Blomkamp indie concept as to what the Halo film should have been. You should go check it out, especially if you like Halo 2 and 3, because there's a lot of brutes. And
that is the first like cinematic adaptation of Halo I saw, and it blew my fucking mind.
we're actually going to link that in the description as well, because it deserves a spot.
Good.
It's amazing. And there's other Halo TV series and movies and stuff. Like we've got, I don't know if you can see it on the wide angle, but there's 2 up there. There's The Fall of Reach, which is all about Master Chief coming up in the Spartan program. And then the one just behind it is Forward Unto Dawn, which was a marketing campaign for Halo 4. And it's also really good.
Forward.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's about Thomas Lasky, lieutenant. He goes through the Marine program and then becomes an ODST, and then he's actually in the 4th game and takes over the command of the Infinity. Anyway, yeah, the other point I was going to make was actually about Assassin's Creed. And this is kind of what stemmed my original question, is the Animus. Because I know you're like not a big fan of the adaptation of the Animus that they included in the film. So I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. In the original game, the Animus is basically like a medical bed, right? Where you get like a neural link and then you browse your ancestors' past and whatever.
Yep. Love it.
I am of the opinion that they made the correct choice in changing it to the big motorized claw.
And you'd be wrong.
And the reason why is because, in my opinion, when you are adapting a game or a book or anything into a visual medium, like film or TV, you can't just rely on the IP. You can't just rely on people's interest based on the existence of the game. You can do that, but then there's a pretty good chance it's not going to be good, because that means that you're kind of phoning it in. You're just relying on the franchise to bring in the audience. What you need in that situation, especially since Assassin's Creed is an action game, is you need something that's visually interesting. And I would challenge you to say that someone laying down on a bed and being like linked in is more visually interesting or entertaining or more likely to get people in the door than a massive motorized arm that is like visually you can cut between them doing actions way back in the memories and like now, and you can do all these cool angles. Like one of those is going to sell tickets in a theater and one of them is not.
So here's the thing. Can you give me a beer first before I get into this rant? Because you've triggered some nerves and I cannot wait to prove you wrong.
Prove him wrong.
Wait.
That's actually
That was still pretty good.
Yeah. So first off, I think that the Animus itself would have been way more visually appealing in theaters. I think there is so many cool things you can do with someone laying in a cool bed with a little screen around you. For one, you're not going to show it the entire time like the movie did, where it was like cutting back and forth between the Animus and like him doing karate shit, like with the whatever he's doing. The bed itself, like I'm picturing like cool shots, right? Like he goes into the bed, you're like panning around him, and then it like cuts to like a close up of his eyes, like eyelids closed, like moving around, and then you go into the loading screen. And the loading screen could be just like a quick like 10 seconds of him like being in like, you know, like white and like kind of getting into and then you see everything pop up like in the game. I think that would have been much more visually appealing and everyone would have appreciated more, because I won't lie, the Animus thing I thought looked so stupid.
Yeah.
I think what they did was atrocious, and I think some guy laying in a computerized bed, whatever you want to call it, is way cooler, and I think it would have sold tickets more than this other stupid Animus thing.
Is that because you played the games and you know the implications of the Animus?
No.
You think that the public walking by and see a poster are more likely to buy tickets if they see a guy laying in a bed versus they see a massive machine?
First off, they're not going to use the Animus as the poster.
No, but hypothetically.
So, hypothetically, even then, they wouldn't use that as the poster.
No, but hypothetically, if they did.
If they did, I still think that, well, okay, if you're looking at a picture...
It's a yes or no.
Is it? Yeah. I think that both, honestly, like both would not look appealing on a poster.
To you subjectively or to a mass audience?
Both of those sound like terrible posters. I don't know what you're...
Okay, both of them are bad posters.
I think you both understand the point I'm trying to make, but you're digging into the details to avoid the answer.
I do agree with what you're saying. If it's about coming up with visually interesting shots and angles and camera movement, yes, some sort of wearable apparatus of any kind is way more useful than a hospital bed. A freaking gurney with a VR headset.
It's totally how you make it. You can make the guy laying in the bed super cinematic and awesome and visually appealing to people that haven't played the game, or you could take this easy route like they did and be lazy about it.
Lazy. I would consider that much less lazy.
Yeah, I would think laying down in a gurney is the lazy route.
No, but you have to work harder to make that look interesting. Whereas a guy attached to a thing, you don't have to try that hard to make it interesting.
That's true. The other point with them using a different animus is in the film, they were very vocal about the fact that in order to get into your ancestors' neural network and get into his brain, you had to have a certain aspect of physicality, right? So that the function of the animus in the film wasn't just to get into the neural network; it was actually to physically do the motions which assisted in, I don't know what they call it, but it's where it's how you transport into his neural network.
It's like a rain dance or something?
Kind of.
But my thing too is you don't put too much focus on the animus. The animus is a cool thing where it's he comes out, he goes in.
Yeah.
And it's a small part of it, but I love that animus. I just think even without playing the game, I just think it's a cooler concept. Do you know what I mean? It's just more I don't even know how to describe it. I just think the vibe is a lot more sci-fi and more interesting.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're doing a TV show now, which is
That could go wrong.
it could go wrong,
But
but
it could go
maybe
well.
they'll keep the animus the way it was. Maybe they'll be a little more
Honestly,
true to the source material.
I actually did like the movie, even though they
Right.
didn't follow the Desmond Miles story. I really wish they did, but I actually did like the movie. I feel like if I watched it again, I might like it less.
I did not like it.
Oh, okay, fair.
I
I also didn't play
I
the
haven't seen
original
this one yet.
games.
Yeah, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
I played 3 or 4 hours.
And I
the
think
first
you would
one.
have the same opinion about the Animus if you did.
No, but see, that's the thing. It's
no,
not about
but-
a fan of the film.
No,
the thing.
but it is, because if you're making an adaptation, it should be about.
But that's what I was saying
their
before. You
existence.
shouldn't rely on that, right?
But
You need
that's
to bring
the-
it to a mass audience and appeal to those people as well as
Yeah, but
people
it is
that.
a mass audience. A fan, fans of a specific video game, that's a huge audience.
Yeah, but what I mean by mass audience is outside of just the people that play the game, right? The public, people that don't just play video games, but they go to the theater, right? I would rather they try to make a film that wasn't just servicing the fans of the games and something that more people can come in and appreciate the universe.
So you don't think? Here's a question for you now.
Okay. Lay it
You
on
don't
me.
think that them following the game format would be interesting to other people that haven't played the video game? Because I, as a video game player, tend to love the storylines. Take the game away from it, I'm this storyline is so sick, which is what I loved about Assassin's Creed. I was yeah, it's fun jumping around like a ninja and doing parkour, but the actual story I find very interesting. Why not just stick with that storyline to bring in the mass audience?
I think therein lies the challenge that any director or anybody taking on a project like a video game adaptation is faced with, and some of them have done it well, and some of it have not. That would be worry less about being faithful to any one or section of the games, and make and try more to understand what the appeal was, what the fantasy that was being sold to the original audience of the media was, and what about the delivery, the packaging, the aesthetic, the feeling, what made that so appealing. Understand that, prioritize that rather than member berries for the existing fans, and find the balance between Easter eggs for the fans and what is going to make a movie or a TV show a successful and satisfying and engaging watch.
Yeah, because servicing the fans is not giving them the same experience that they had playing the game, doing the same story,
You'll
doing the
never
same
give them the
characters.
same.
That's just not possible. So servicing the fans is less of a priority, I would say, and you should service the IP, because the people that appreciate the games are going to appreciate something that is well made that just happens to be in that universe.
I
Try
agree.
to capture the flavor.
I agree, but I think you can do both at the
I
same time.
agree with that.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you can
Absolutely,
service the
but-
fans and also create something new and fresh for them too.
But that's the balance you need to seek.
Yes.
That's when teams have succeeded at a good adaptation, that is what they've succeeded at. And when one turns out poorly, it's because they missed the mark there.
I agree, which is how I feel. And please don't punch me in the face when I say this. about the Halo show.
Yeah. I mean, I could talk about the Halo show for hours.
Yeah.
And
Let's
I'd love
do
to,
it.
But
Extended edition.
Chief being naked with his helmet off. He should have been
he
naked
should have been
with his
naked with
helmet
his helmet on. I know.
Yeah, why did he take
That's
the
when I
helmet off?
stopped
That was the
watching.
important part. Take everything else.
Yeah, that's
No,
when
there
I
was like a shower
that's
scene,
what
right?
let
With
me
like
know.
butt
Yeah.
cheeks, right? Yeah.
Well, okay, he was. The butt cheeks were there,
I was
whether we
thrown off
like
by
it or
the
not.
butt cheeks.
But it was not.
Spartan butt
They're trying to like go Game of Thrones with it. They're like, let's have
Yeah.
sex in Halo, and it's like
The
that's
thing
not
is about that
necessary.
scene is why I don't like how people focus so much on him being naked. It was actually a really important part of the story. It was like him removing his chip, basically, that was implanted into him like as a child going through the Spartan program. That scene was very important, and like people were like, "Oh, he's fucking naked."
So by
I love how that's
having
what
the
you said,
butt
so.
cheeks, like, did a disservice to the gravity of that scene because it distracted a
It,
portion.
did,
Yeah, I would
it drew attention to his butt cheeks,
Yeah,
and I did not need that.
He's totally allowed to be naked, but like, you don't have to show his butt cheeks.
It was unnecessary. It was
Yeah.
like, let's just have a scene where he's naked, and I'm like, okay, first of all, Master Chief doesn't get naked. Okay, he
Only
sleeps
in my
He
dreams.
sleeps with his armor on, and that's a fact, even though it's not. But that's how I like to picture Master Chief. He wakes up with his armor on. He eats his breakfast with his armor on. Like, he
Well,
does everything with his armor on. He
can
goes
be-
to the bathroom in his armor. In fact,
Did you know that?
What?
So, it is canon that the Mjolnir armor actually will pleasure its wearer.
Oh my God.
is this a real lore fact?
Yeah.
Yes, that I have heard of.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop this conversation because we need to move on.
Yeah. What's next, boys?
We should do the trailer.
Oh,
All right.
Quinn, I think you have a trailer for us, don't you?
I do.
Quinn's got the trailer
I
up.
need to bring it up though, so give me a second here. Here we go. First reactions. Let's go.
There's a huge universe out there.
Peach saw it.
I just love Anya Taylor-Joy.
A lot of galaxies.
Nintendo.
I mean, she doesn't know I exist, but
I'm liking the visuals. Visuals are looking real nice.
I mean, that's what I heard. Yeah, they've got fantastic animators.
Yeah, incredibly well-paid animators.
Yeah.
And they're probably like mad at them for not getting it done sooner, even though it's incredible.
Called it.
Did you?
No.
Yeah,
Also-
I was like, what did you call?
Also,
Release my father!
that guy's OP in Smash Bros.
Is this like Bowser's cousin? Bowser's cousin?
No, it's
This is Bowser
Bowser Jr.
Jr..
It's his
Buddy, I
son.
don't know the.
It's his
lore.
child.
He's kind of a little bitch.
Yeah, well, he's Bowser's child. Guy's kind of a dick.
Is it still Charlie Day as Luigi?
It would be, yeah.
Yeah. Jack Black, baby.
And I think that's.
Jack Black is back.
I don't want to talk over the whole thing.
Everyone calm down.
Toad, pack our things.
Let's go. Oh, princess, you're going to regret that.
Whose voice was that?
Yeah, that was from 30 Rock, wasn't it?
30 Rock. I don't think I've seen that.
Tracy Morgan. Is that his name?
Is that the? Yeah,
I
I know.
think-
I know.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, Tracy Morgan. Met him actually.
We're gonna talk about that after.
Hello, maggots.
Ooh, is this like a Luigi's Mansion reference?
No, that was one of the blue dress princess.
I love how when I said who's that, you guys were like, you don't know him. As
It was
if I'm
Bowser
supposed-
Jr.
Dude, everybody knows who Bowser.
It was Bowser, but little.
All right.
Um,
I personally think that trailer looks probably better than the movie actually is, because I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, damn, this is looking better than I was imagining it to,
Really?
considering what you guys talked about. Am I entirely wrong and an idiot about this?
Yes and yes. However,
I walked into that one.
no, I think that trailer did a great job of what is good about the movie, and they had they had some very talented animators and some very talented sound engineers working on making reimaginings, remixes. It feels weird calling it that, but
Redesigns
of the original songs.
Oh yeah.
Like the
a recomposition.
visuals are fantastic. Yeah, the arrangements, the musical arrangements are fantastic. I don't give a crap.
I don't give a cap.
And but then while we're watching it, right, the whole thing is just like, oh, I know that character. Oh, I remember that character. And the same with the voice actors too.
I have
It's
no
like,
idea what the
Charlie Day.
storyline
Oh yeah,
is.
Jack, like the whole thing. But what about the film? Is it worth 2 hours of your time? Not if you, like it's a visual feast of a number of very talented individuals, and I think that has merit. But does it deserve to be celebrated? I would say no.
Okay, so they spent 1 minute and 18 seconds
On just like,
literally just like the Bowser Jr. coming down and exploding the castle, and then them falling from the big explosion. And that was over 1 minute. We needed that much time spent on that.
Yes.
Like that should have taken maybe 30 seconds. And I feel like they just, it almost felt like they had to hit the 2 minute mark, right? So they were just filling space. Like you can have the impact of Bowser Jr. coming down and like in really impactful and having the castle explode, but you do not need like almost 1.5 minutes.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this movie services a very small amount of people, probably like kids that like Mario, and that's about it. You know. Moving on.
Yeah.
I have a fun movie fact.
It's the fun movie fact of the day.
And the fun movie fact of the day. Did either of you guys ever watch the Doom film
I did.
Heard
in
about
2005?
I did watch that with Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's actually a lot of interesting facts about that movie, but one of them is if there's any Doom fans in the audience, like if any of you guys have actually played any of the Doom games, you know what the BFG is, right?
BFG.
The BFG. If you don't know what the BFG is, that stands for Big Fucking Gun. And
It's is that what it stands for?
yeah.
Oh my god.
And it's the most powerful gun in the game. Like one shot kills everything. So in the movie, they find it. One of the characters finds the BFG in a locker, and on the outside of the locker, it has I think it's actually I have it up here. IDKFA. And for all of you that play the original Doom games, that is actually a cheat code to get like unlimited ammo and armor and everything. And they had that in the movie.
That's sick. You see?
I didn't know that.
Good example of staying true to the fans.
I think the film was
And everything should have Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Also, the filmmakers had a very severe aversion to anything satanic, and so everything in that movie that was supposed to be satanic was taken out.
It's demons coming
I know,
out of a
it's-
portal.
How
that-
is that even
It's the entire premise of the games and everything. Yeah,
It's
Guys,
the basis of the entire
This
story.
is inappropriate. We got to make it more PG. Like that's like why?
Okay, yes, we've ripped open a portal to hell and there are demons flooding out and we need to
But-
subdue them. But no Satanism.
yeah. No demonic symbols. No ripping guts out. Actually, there was a little bit of that. In
What
the
do you
movie.
think, Nolan?
Oh, now he's shy. Yeah.
All right, good talk.
Absolutely not.
That's
Well,
crazy though.
Yeah, man. But I think that sums up the episode.
Yeah.
What are your takeaways from today's episode?
Personally, I would love to see more video games adapted. I'd just like to see a little more. I'd like to see the right directors show that they know how to do that conversion with satisfying results. Maybe it's parent company overreach that's caused a lot of the problems. Depends. Just need to give them to a director and trust them to do something worth watching.
I agree. I think if I had to take away anything, it's that, in my personal opinion, if they're going to do a video game adaptation, there's got to be balance, like you suggested earlier. I think if there's a healthy balance between something fresh but staying true to the heart and soul of the game.
The heart and soul.
The heart and soul being the primary focus, but you're free to explore the storyline, and as long as you make it like true, as long as you keep it true for the fan base, and then also leave some, like, have wiggle room for a new audience with like a new take on it. Like, I think that's what I want to see in video game adaptations.
Yeah, I agree with that overall. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
This has been episode 5, and stay tuned for episode 6. We will have a guest, unnamed
Brian
thus
Crasser.
far.
We've got other announcements incoming, so stay tuned, and we'll see you there.